Yeah, we got another stack of comics to review. Another fun pile to finish. Well, the rest of the pile to finish off from the last one. Starting out with Spawn, Rat City. This is issue 7. Trying to think if I'm done with this now. I know I was going to drop off it. So we got 7 in the mail. Issue 7? I didn't order issue 7. Or no, I did. It's in 2 different spots on 2 different pages. So yeah, this looks like the last one that I have coming, thankfully. Because I knew this one wasn't as bad, but still, half the book, it's got the people that have me confused. And it starts out great, having Spawn and Violator, the battle going between them. See what's up with that, and then our one character, she's all in the middle of things, and then she ends up having a meltdown. But she has some problems that happen because of the battle that the beginning of the story starts with. But then it jumps over to a storage facility where she's laying there. She's got nanites on her arms from our other Spawn character, which they confuse me so much between these characters and the regular Spawn characters, so I'm just not sure. I'm still unsure who this character is. I just know he's a Spawn-style character with nanites running through his body. That was all started from the scientist that did things to him, which we see here. Then we also see 2 new characters. This digital character and this gal that show up and are kind of like taking over things. Apparently they were the digital character was the backer of all the scientific research, what they're doing with nanites and making these superhero style characters, and what's going to come from it, who knows. But they're tracking down the people that are missing from their scientific mishaps, and while they're doing that, we're getting these little health shots where Violator and Spawn are battling away. Things are going on. Still a very confusing story by Erica Schultz and Z. Carlos and J. David Ramos. And Erica Schultz also does the lettering on this along with the script. But I am just 7 issues in. I can't really tell you what the hell this story is about. Some rat city where there are no rats other than the evil doctors that are part of the city. I don't know. I am so confused. And I'm glad to be done with it. So my first 7 issues will be up for sale. If I can find them. Half of them are packed away already, so I'll have to keep them. Or at least just get rid of the last couple. But it's sad. It's like, it seemed interesting in the first issue. Second issue was very confusing. Got more confusing. Then got a little bit of an explanation of some things. Understood the nanites a little more and all that, what was going on. We had different types of nanites that were counteracting with each other. Now we didn't hear nothing about those from last issue and this issue, so don't know what's up with that. But yet he puts some of his nanites on this gal's arm to fix her. And while it's going on, the nanites are kind of like putting things in her brain and stuff from his past, and it just it's a fiasco as far as I'm concerned. I'll stick with Spawn kills every Spawn or whatever it is. That one's a lot more fun. Speaking of fun, but another bummer, we got Rebel Girls number 4. I think this is the penultimate. Or no, I think this might be this is the end of this chapter, which I don't like 4-issue chapters. 5 minimum, 6, all right. But if it's only going to be 4 issues, just make it a one-shot. Don't make it a chapter if it's 4 issues. That's just dumb to me, because then the trades are thin trades. And so you want a nice 6 issues in a trade when you pick it up for a volume 1 and stuff. But in here, we get a little more explanation for the girls. The girls get to understand a little bit more that they're basically making a pact with the devil. If they decide to. If not, then they'll have to deal with the consequences. But our manager type character never really explains anything to the girls. So the demon that appears from hell, they get them to sign their souls away. She explains a little more what's going on, and their little character here that they thought was basically some type of music manager trying to get them to sign with them. He just never explained to them what they would be signing away if they did do a contract, and he never explained that he was not a manager or anything like that. He's got some other nefarious plans, things that he is supposed to do and be. But yeah, it basically, we went from 3 issues that were interesting, looking like a good story, to the 4th issue, which kind of basically told you everything you already knew, and then left you with that being the end. It's like, they talk about the things that they ended up battling with during their concerts, the demons and stuff, how they were doing stuff like that. But you could have easily made a couple of issues with some big battles and made it fun, getting them to sign their things, and then maybe after the 6th issue, then finding out what they actually signed away because they didn't read their contract or something like that. But taking what they started with the first 3 issues, and then all of a sudden it's like giving us a final issue to end a chapter that's just a big explanation of the stuff that we already knew, just because they're thought he was manager, or the girls thought he was the manager type guy, never really explained anything to him. I understood what the girls were getting themselves into. They kind of figured it out themselves also, because of the things that they dealt with at their concerts, all the problems and the demons and all that stuff. I don't know. I still like the comic and have high hopes for it, but I don't know if it's a Keen Spot thing. I don't know if they like doing these, giving you less for more, or what, because they do a lot of special covers that they have ridiculously priced and stuff that I've talked about in the past. And then they give me a 4-issue comic that starts out strong and then just falls on its face on the final issue of the first chapter. Which, honestly, did we even have to end it with a chapter? Why couldn't we have just ended the whole story and came out with some one-shots or some new storyline to follow up after they get signed, and some big concert events, Battle of the Bands, Monsters of Rock? I mean, call Sharon Osbourne. She'll tell you what to write. And she basically makes these stories up for her husband's concert tours that are better than what this laid out. I was bummed. I had high hopes for it, but leaving me after 4 issues and ending a chapter without any type of big battle or anything going on. It's like, what did I even read this for? I don't know. Kind of bummed, but hopefully it'll pick up in the future and they'll do something fun with it. But they need to really focus on some. If the girls are going to be, hey, why would they be destroyers of demons and stuff if they're signing their souls away to hell? I mean, that doesn't make sense either. You would think they'd be creating demons to attack Earth instead of destroying demons and ghosts and skeletons and monsters. I don't know. Who knows? They could surprise me with something in the near future. We'll see. Valiant Alien books. We got Resurgence of the Valiant Universe #2. I love this monster cover. This monster virgin cover. I like how they've been doing the virgin covers for Valiant and just leaving the tiniest little information on top. So you don't have to kind of pull it out of the bag, open it up, see what issue it is, what you're reading and stuff like that. But they do a great job with these. Each one has a description of the characters that are in it, the groups that the characters are from, and all that. And we are seeing these battles going on. And we're also seeing people that are trying to become immortal, never die. We have the scientist that basically came up with the concept that, well, everybody can live forever now. You don't have to worry about it. Even people that have passed, you can bring back to life if you bring them to these kind of, I guess, pools of life, immortal life pools or something like that. And of course, there's certain characters that are protecting those pools and only letting certain people in if they pay them money and all that stuff, because someone's always going to take over everything and profit from it. So people that are trying to get to the pools are having all kinds of problems, running into idiots that are shooting people just to keep the pools from keep people from getting to the immortality pools and all that stuff. And while all that's going on, we got our superhero characters trying to figure out what's going on in the world. We have superheroes that have passed, died, and have been revived because of these pools and stuff. But so a variety of our characters are out trying to deal with all that stuff. I love that Quantum and Woody jumped into this. We got Archer and Armstrong, all that. Faith is doing a big part in this issue. She's dealing with some characters that shouldn't be around anymore, but they're back. They used to be teammates of hers, and they don't remember because of, I keep wanting to call them Lazarus pits because these immortal pits. Some things, if you're dead before you get re-immortalized, your memories are foggy and unclear, and you got a whole different mindset at the moment of revitalization. But here's our Armstrong characters. But yeah, we get a good array of people from the Valiant Universe, but they're trying to deal with superheroes that were brought back to life, or supervillains, or old teammates, or whoever gets brought back, trying to get him into clarity, get him see what's going on. And at the same time, you're dealing with the normal humans trying to find a way to become immortal before all this goes away, and having to deal with all the jackassery around it and people trying to profit from it, of course. And because of that, lots of people will probably die. And if they don't get to the pit within a certain period, they probably won't be able to revive themselves. We have a kid that's trying to help a classmate get her to a pool. of immortality because she ends up getting shot by one of these idiots. And yeah. We got Space Coast number 6. Still a lot of fun. We got what's his name? Moltar, I think it is. Oh yeah. Across the vastness of space, evil flourishes in the darkness between stars. With territories spread far and wide across the Galactic Federation, pirates and hijackers have ransacked these distant colonies with cruel disregard for the innocent scientists living within them. Yet there is a cosmic vigilante who metes out justice across the spaceways, bringing vengeance to those who prey upon the defenseless. They call him the Space Ghost. Done by David Pose, Jonathan Lau, Andrew Dahlhaus, Taylor Esposito. And this has been a lot of fun. But we got Moltar and his molten men causing all kinds of havoc. Space Ghost and Jane and her little monkey character are battling away, dealing with this character, while Chase's little brother is back in the ship, not wanting to be any part of anything anymore because of what happened between him and stupid Voltar. I think it's Voltar. Little evil insect character that they dealt with last issue. And he ended up having to kill that character off, and it's just been messing with his mind like crazy. So he stays back and kind of deals with everything in his mind and just basically writing in his diary, talking about how he's done. Doesn't want any part of it anymore. Doesn't like the reality of all things, what happens when you have to take out an enemy and you may end up killing that enemy, or that enemy could end up killing you. And he's just completely depressed and freaked out from it. But yeah, it's a interesting outcome and another great new evil character in this issue, having the Moltar character with the lava men. And then they have a nice little remembrance in here for John Cassaday in the back. Another big creator for Dynamite. Did lots of awesome stuff while he was around, but yeah, he was a year younger than me, and it's just sad seeing that. Way too young. World full of disease that we can't figure out, but yet we can spend billions to send little dick-shaped rockets up into space with idiots in them. Alright, we got Sweetie Candy Vigilante number 5 of volume 2. And we got our little piranha fish. Now, I was waiting for this cover because I completely forgot to do it. But I wanted to. This isn't the cover that I was. I've been picking up. These are the old suntan lotion advertisement where the dog has the girls swim bottom. And there's lots of these covers that have been popping up lately, so I've been picking them up. And but yeah, there's an Archie comic that I'm waiting for, another comic that did a parody of that Archie cover that I wanted to show those off together. But I was thinking it was this. What is the Sunscreen Coppertone, I think, did the commercials for that. But we got our characters, Sweetie's gang, all having a nice little party, hanging out together, celebrating, everything's going good. except for they lost a bunch of bees because of some things happened an issue or two ago where a bunch of deadly wasps attacked their special honeybees and destroyed a bunch of the colonies. And this character, we got a character that's a kind of a playing up the whole health inspector, but he's a insect exterminator. He's got tons of tattoos of wasps on him, so you know he's evil. But Sweetie and the gang are kind of just going to keep their eyes on him and see what he does as he comes into their realm. And of course, he causes a bunch of problems. I'm not going to show you what they do to protect themselves and deal with things, but it's a fun little new ability that some characters got after their last problems with being attacked. So it's a fun little twist on all that, and then seeing more of the Sweeties gang trying to get the world back to a happy place, and seeing the evil ones trying to destroy that for them. But great series if you haven't checked it out. Lots of fun, lots of unique defense and weaponry ideas. But you definitely want to be a good person in her world. Next up, we got the final issue, 3 of 3, of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Land of the Giants. And in this story, if you've been following my reviews, it's a D&D style storyline where Tiny Tina, she'll never grow up. She'll always be Tiny Tina. Doesn't have anybody else tiny to hang out with. So she's got the adults that will play D&D with her and stuff like that. And she's just they're trying to cheer her up, trying to get her in a happy place because she's just going through all kinds of depression while being the only little person around. But our mechanic gal takes over for Tiny Tina on the D&D table while Tina works some things out on her own, and the gang has to do a bunch of side quests. So she sends them on a bunch of different side quests. We get to see the individual routes get laid out, so you can go through them quickly and see what they went through on each of their side quests, but you also get some playthrough on the side before Tina comes back out. But once Tina comes out, they start jumping into a fast look at all the different side quests so they can get back to the main story, which happens to have our big giant goofy character that they're dealing with, and you get to see what happens at the end of the game that they're dealing with and how they battle it out. And it is a lot of fun for a person that always wanted to play D&D and never really did, other than by myself looking through the books, because no one was into D&D or in my area, so I never really got to sit down and play an actual round of D&D. I did in my later years, had a couple friends that we tried to do it, but when it was only 2 or 3 of us, it just didn't work out well, so we never got any further than that. Bought some basic D&D stuff so we could do a simple campaign, but we still couldn't figure out a way to do it simply with only 3 people or so. But that was a lot of fun watching them play through that whole match with their gang and see how whether or not they could help Tina out, make her feel a little bit better about herself or not. And I'm glad I picked that one up, even though I don't know enough about D&D to fully gauge the similarities and stuff. But I think anybody that's into D&D would probably enjoy that storyline. D&D crossed over with Borderlands, goofy characters and creatures and all that stuff. Our final one is, again, penultimate version. I'm pretty sure there's only one issue of this left also. Yeah, 4 of 4 is the final issue, so I got one more issue coming of this. And this is Frankenstein, Universal Monsters Frankenstein, issue 3. Again, a wonderful story. I really love the way they did this. I love what they did with Creature the Black Lagoon. Dracula, not so much. It just felt too much like the original. Get too much difference out of it, but a little more Renfield play and stuff, which I like to see, but it didn't have the impact on me as this has. Well, we get to see a character that happens to be in love with Dr. Frankenstein's wife, has a thing for her, and she just never gets to spend time with him because he's always in the laboratory working on, obsessed with whatever he's working on, and so he could just disappear for months working on his thing, but she always stood by him and cared enough about him. But you have a character that just happens to be in love with her also and thinks that she's going to fall in love with him on the side because her husband's too busy working. And he's trying to play on that to get her away from him. And some things happen, and that can give away with all that stuff. But then later on, once she goes home, she ends up coming across our kid whose father ended up giving his arm to Frankenstein, and he's escaping the castle after being seen and running off, and she catches him, and she's like, well, you look hungry, why don't you come in, I'll feed you. She goes to take care of him and stuff. She learns a little bit from him, what's been going on, what he's gone through, and she like tries to ease his mind, saying her husband's a good man and all this stuff, and then she gets called off, and she has to see what happens. This is following up after Frankenstein took out the one character that was being mean to him, so we get to see Frankenstein have to try and escape without being destroyed. They want to put him down, take him out. Some characters try some things, make some attempts on certain things, but this one basically ends up, the first one focuses on the left hand, second one focuses on the brain, this one focuses on the heart. So I'm guessing the next one's going to probably be like legs, but not positive which way the final one will go, but I really like the way they did this by putting each of the 4 books on a different body part of Frankenstein's and getting a little history behind the body parts, where they came from, the characters that they got the body parts from and stuff. They did an awesome job with these. So if you're at all a Universal Monsters fan or a Frankenstein fan, definitely check that out. I think you'd enjoy it. No, I really did. I'm looking forward to that 4th and final issue. And I hope that at least the Creature and Frankie each get another volume. Go a little deeper into the storylines, which we never really did. I don't want to go into like the Bride of Frankenstein storyline, but I guess that wouldn't be bad either. But see what they did with her. I have a feeling how that would come out also, but I think it would be fun just to see what happens to Frankie in the future. His escape, his chance at becoming the Doctor, all that stuff, like the history that we know. Yeah, that's another. It worked out good. I figured there was about a half hour's worth of stuff left again, so that worked out perfect. So keep following Under the Cull of MS. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, give us those likes, and we will be back with more of these sometime soon, or later, or tomorrow, or the next day. We've been banking a bunch, so we got more than enough to put out one a day. So we're going to try and keep it up. So keep following us and check out Crimson Cull Comic Club. rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, give us those likes, help us out, and we'll keep putting out this stuff as long as you like it. All right, thanks. Bye.